So we're going to start out with our robot. We open Lego Digital Designer. And usually I would recommend clicking on Mindstorm so that when you do open it, you've got the right menu of items. And you're going to open your robot that you built. Okay? All right. I've changed the robot slightly from the way the directions originally said. I swapped out these wheels with slightly smaller wheels, and I'll explain why. I don't know that the solution is the right one yet, but what was happening was whenever the robot stopped, the whole robot would tilt forward and it would knock this thing against the ground, the sensor against the ground, and then the sensor would hang down on the ground. I haven't solved it yet. So what you'll discover about robotics and about lots of things in science is that we learn from trying and failing. And I've done a lot of that in the past couple of days. So anyway, once you've got your robot built and you're ready to do this, you're going to go up here to File, and you're going to export your model. And the reason I'm recording this is so that I can save it to the classroom and you can watch this video as you do it yourself. And you come down here to Export Model, and you want to save it as an LDRAW. Okay? In this case, it'll have the same name, driving base model with ultrasonic and arm, okay? And I'm going to say for class. All right. And hit save. That's it. At this point, I can close this, but I'm going to keep it open because there are some questions that the computer is going to ask us as we import it that I want to go back and refer to this. So I'm just going to minimize this for right now. And I go up here into Virtual Robotics Toolkit. And it's trying to open it in the wrong screen, so I'm going to move it over here to this correct screen. And I've already got it set to open both Mindstorm and this at the same time. I think you do too. And so it should set to open up something like this. And you close both all the dialog boxes. Okay. This is the screen you normally see. What I'm going to ask you to do is hit Shift F12 when you're on Virtual Robotics Toolkit. Right now your menu looks like this. When you hit Shift F12, it gives you a new menu. This is the advanced menu. And the reason we're doing this is so you can import your robot. Okay. This is the same thing as before. And this time we're going to open up the sandbox because it's a pretty basic one. And we're just going to overwrite my project. When you click on the robot, that selects the robot, and then you hit the delete button, and that deletes the robot. Up here across the top, this thing right here is the download button, and you're going to download your robot that you saved. So the one that we said for class is the one I saved. Import. And what it's doing right now is actually building the robot. Let's see if I can pull this aside so you can see it building the robot right here in the center of the screen. Once it says done, you hit next. And now, I'll make this as big as I can. It highlights the part that you have clicked on, and this is helpful because right now it's just called component 1, and that doesn't make any sense. But you know that's your chassis or your body of your vehicle, so we're going to call it the body. Okay. Component 2, well, can't really tell what that is, so rotate it around. Oh, that's the ball in back, or caster, kind of like the caster wheel on a shopping cart. So I'm just going to call this back wheel. Okay. Component 3, that's the arm. Component 4 is the little gear that makes the arm work. Arm gear. Okay, you can call this anything you want. You're just naming the parts so you know what they are. Oh, there's our sensor. If that's the back wheel, then that's the left wheel. And this component 7 must be the right wheel. Over here are the parts that it did not import. Okay, and in this case they're all the wires, because it doesn't need the wires in order for the program to run. It ignores the wires, so we just hit next. Okay, now you have to tell it where everything's connected. Okay, and this is why I said we keep this open. Let's start with the ultrasonic sensor. The ultrasonic sensor was plugged into port 4 back here. So go back to our Virtual Robotics Toolkit. Port 4 down here, sensor port 4 is the ultrasonic sensor. Okay. The arm, this motor arm right here, that's the yellow wire. Oh, no, that's the sensor. The arm is the blue wire right there. That's A. So go back here. So A is going to be the, oh, it's the medium motor. We're going to have to name these motors. The medium motor, same problem, medium motor in the middle. That's the arm motor. For those of you just joining us, I'm recording this and I'll post it in the classroom as a video so that you can see it. This is the left motor. And this is the right motor. Okay. And we just said that the medium or the arm motor was A. Go back to our picture of our robot. This wheel is the left wheel. That's the red wire. The red wire is going into B right there. So, and then we know C is the green wire. So go back to our program. B is left, C is right, and we hit next. Okay. The last thing it's asking us, if we had a lot of things moving to make it move, it wants to know whether or not our arms are active or moving, and we're just going to leave them as active. That's whether or not this motor drives that arm right there. Next. Which direction is front? This is important if you're going to manually drive your robot. So right now the arms are pointed to the front, so we leave that as front and we hit finish. And it takes a few minutes or a minute to test the robot to see if it builds out. And when it's done, it'll say your model's finished, and you hit complete and it'll lay your robot on the field. Let's give it a second. Model is ready to use. I hit finish. Okay. At this point, you need to open the programming tool. I'm going to stop the recording here.